What's going on, guys? So, got another video. If uh, if you're anything like me and you play World of Warcraft, you already know what this video is about right now, as you can tell by the cover that we are currently have on the screen. World of Warcraft has released and done the reveal, the new expansion for World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft, Dragonflight. Need some in the chat. Yo, listen, I'm not even streaming right now, but I'm so hyped. I did this with the stream earlier today, and when it did the live reveal, and the question has arisen. Is WoW back? Is WoW back to some of its former glory? Right. So I'm a little lost for words because watching the reveal, I was super hyped. Right. But of course, there's always questions that are gonna come to the forefront. But I got a few slides for you guys that we can go ahead and kind of like dive into some simple things, but there are great things for World of Warcraft to come um, in the future, and hopefully these can be some of the things that can maybe bring the community together, bring some of the old heads back to the fold, and get back on that World of Warcraft grind. Anyways, if you're watching the video, make sure to go ahead and leave a like down below, subscribe to your boy, leave a comment down below if you're excited, because I am. And let's go ahead and get into this video. All right. So, Drak Fear is the new race. Evoker is the class, right? So, basically got a 2-in-1. We got a class, new race, right? We're gonna be a caster and a healer. Pretty dope. Gonna see how it's dope just from some of the video clips that they showed of how these things are gonna work out. So, as you can see right here, male, female, it gives me good vibes, right? Watching the videos that you see, of course, they have wings, they're able to glide. So a lot of these things are going to be comparable to like the Demon Hunter and things like that, which is fine with me. It gives you that fantasy of something new, right? Who who doesn't like dragons, right? I like dragons. You like dragons. He likes dragons. We all like dragons, right? I think they did pretty well when it comes to capturing the fantasy of the game for us going in. We wear male armor, so the only thing we're going to be competing with is with shamans and hunters. Please tell me I didn't forget anything else, but I'm pretty sure those are only two classes off the top of my head. Yep, shamans, hunters. Only two classes that we're going to be competing with when it comes to gear, which is great because we need to fill some of these slots that we were having. We got too many leather wearers, we got too many plate wearers out here. We needed to balance that thing out. I wish that they would have had a tank spec. I think it would have been amazing. But maybe they might do some changes maybe later on down the road. Maybe they just haven't revealed and polished the tank spec yet. So that would be definitely something that I would think would be fantastic, as if they had a tank spec. But not complaining with them having a range DPS spec and their healer, because honestly, I love to heal, so the more healers the better, right? Um, Hopefully the customization. I'm seeing some of the customization that they've had. You can always go to the World of Warcraft website and kind of check out all the other customizations that they have. But from what I've seen, you're able to customize some with your scales, scale color, things like that. And you have your human form, and then you have this form as well, your drag theory form. So able to be able to customize that, sort of like on how the Worgans, you're able to customize your human form, and then your Worgen form is customizable as well. So I think that's going to be pretty dope, just from what I've seen. Having horns and scales and being able to put these scales and things exactly where you want them to be. I'm all for it. And I think Blizz, I gave him I gave him a 9.5 out of 10. I'm gonna leave the point 0.5 there until I see something very specific that I'm probably gonna be looking for the human forms. But we'll see about that like later on into it. Next, this was the big one. This is what everyone was talking about, right? We all were worrying about, yo, we need talent trees back. And Blizz said, I got you. We're gonna bring you talent trees back, but wait, there's more. We're gonna give you two separate trees. So as you can see, this is the tree that they revealed earlier today in the reveal. So you have one side of the tree for your class as a whole, and then you have the other half, as you can see right over here, for your spec. Now, mind you, this is big. This is big. So you can see over here for the druid, this is what they showed. There's a lot of abilities that are very familiar, right? As you can see that we have highlighted, we have regrowth, swift mend, and you have, something else that stems maybe a rank 1 or rank 2 of regrowth. Have bark skin, maul, thrash. You have these very familiar abilities, um, just in your druid tree alone. So you're gonna have some flexibility of which way you want to go into that tree, just based on the content that you're gonna be doing, whether it's PVE, PvP, Mythic Plus, Raid. The list goes on, right? But then you slide over to your spec tree, right? And you have your points available. So you're going to have things that are specific to your spec. You're going to have Life Bloom. You're going to have Omen of Clarity, Iron Bark, Ysera's Gift. These things that are just specific alone to Restoration Druid, as we'll go here. And really, once again, you can see the route that these trees are going. You can tailor these things based on your playstyle and on the content that you need these talents for. Now, one big thing that I did notice, right, when I was looking at it earlier, if you go all the way down here to this bottom right here, this looks like the good old, why can't I think of it off the top of my head? Convoke the spirits, right? No one likes Convoke on Druid. No one, because if you PvP, you know why. We're not even going to talk about it. But Convoke talent. So maybe Blizz is going to take some of these abilities that we have had in the Shadowlands and take some of these things, and then you can make them available for you inside of Dragonflight, but maybe hopefully they're not as optimal, as they are right now. You want them to just be a part of the class. You don't want these talents to be the class, right? You don't want it to make or break your class based on the talents that you're picking. I really do like the versatility that they're having, giving us two sides of the tree. I think that's going to be something that's very dope and going to be able to create a lot of interesting play styles when it comes to people and their class and spec. Another thing I noticed as well is you look here at the bottom, you have a Resto Loadout 3 down at the bottom left. So you can have all these builds set up, just have one for PvE, one for PvP, one for Raid or Mythic Plus content, and you can swap your loadouts depending on those as well. So I think it's going to be really, really cool. Overall, with the talent tree, I just think just how it looks right now, it looks very clean. Like, this looks like, hey, you're on your druid, right? You can see the Grove Warden in the background. The colors just look, it feels like, oh, I'm playing my druid, right? You can, just the visual alone kind of lets you dive into and tap into the class fantasy. So I give the talent tree like 10 out of 10. Like, it's going to be interesting to see what talents are going to go in, what talents are going to, be removed. And maybe if they bring some old talents and abilities from expansions in the past, how far is going to push the limits to these classes and these specs going in. I'm excited for Warrior. We'll see. Okay, next is the UI. So they showed some UI footage as well. And I can wholeheartedly say that the shit is clean. Like, I can't even really complain about anything. You look at some of the things, like when you look up here at the top left, looking at the player interface, your enemy and things like that. It looks very simplistic, but it's super clean. It's nice and crisp, right? Look at the map. The map is nice and clean. And even, the UI portion with your action bars looks fantastic. Like, it's clean. It's very clean. Very, very, very clean. Gives you a whole bunch of room here in the middle when it comes to being able to see what's going on when you're doing certain encounters, and you need to be aware of things that are going on around you. I think they did a spectacular job with just showing this alone, right? And it's honestly, I didn't even notice any of this, but as you can see on your action bars, some of the abilities that are here for the Drakthir. Um, we might dive into that a little bit more as we find out more. Um, as more things are revealed to us. Um, but I do see some familiar uh, keybinds and button designs, so pretty interested in that going forward. Uh, One of the big things that they did talk about as well going into when it comes to the UI is customization. A lot of people use add-ons such as like LVUI or Tukey to customize their whole user interface, whether it's bags, action bars, battle text, things like that. Things that are just more convenient and more customizable to the player. And Blizz has been talking about a lot of giving more power and control of those things within the game. So if you don't need an add-on from an outside source in order to achieve some of these things when it comes to like visualization and keybond design, action bar design, map design, being able to move and manipulate uh, your whole user interface within the game. I think that's going to be big um, for WoW as a whole. Um, a lot of these add-ons that we use now take up a lot of memory when it comes to us playing the game, and the streamers and stuff like myself. We need as much memory as we can, to keep free in order so we can optimize our stream and our recordings and things like that. So I think this was like a great quality of life feature that Blizz should have honestly probably had implemented in the game 5-6 years ago. But just the fact of the matter is that they're going to be giving this flexibility to us in order to adjust our UI, for our gameplay is going to be is definitely a good move by Blizz. And also another thing that they mentioned is that you can set your UI based on your spec. So, of course, if you're a healer, you need to see like a wide range of motion, wide range of an area just to see things that are going on. That might be good for you to have your UI a little bit more open versus maybe a tank or a melee DPS. You kind of want to keep everything maybe streamlined to what you're attacking. It just all depends on the person and how they like to set their things up. Um, but just to think about having those options based on how you play the game and how you see yourself in the game, I think it's very dope that they kept the player experience in mind when it came to the UI. Next, we have these are professions. So they went ahead and revamped how these professions will work, right? And over time, professions back in the day from like classic moving up to, BC, Wrath, like professions meant a lot. Like if you were able to craft like the best weapon and the best gear, you would be like you would be ahead of the curve when it comes to performance for your class, right? Now, as you can see the screen here, they just have the blacksmithing as an example here. Um, so they're given an option in the game called work orders, right? And this is more like a spin off of like New World and other MMOs. I'm pretty sure kind of had this thing implemented, right? So as you can see, the gear, it's the spurred war boots of the dragon. The boots, fire anvil, dragon, blacksmith hammer, of course. So it's showing you the regions that are needed, right? Showing you what you need, and then optional region to amplify the power. So you can now, at a point, you can do a work order that they're saying, and it's going to give you the option of putting the mats up for a piece of gear that you need, and then someone that has the profession maxed out, and things like that, that can craft the piece of gear or the weapon for you. They can take those mats, they can craft the piece for you, and send it back to you. Just honestly having that option of deploying your mats and putting your mats out there for someone to see, you know, maybe this is how, a lot of people might start to push to make gold into the game. and it might make a lot of these other professions a lot more valuable for the game too. I know engineering and like blacksmithing and things like that. After a while, they start to kind of fall off when it comes to how valuable they are. Most things like cooking, alchemy, and enchanting usually always hold their value because you're always going to need new enchants for gear, and weapons and things like that. You're always going to need feasts for raids and plus pots, flask, all those things, right? You're going to need those things throughout the entirety of an expansion. So those professions never really lose their steam. But when it comes to like gearing professions like engineering, leatherwork, and blacksmithing, they really don't hold the weight that they do after a few months, maybe a year into the expansion. Those things start to die off. So given the crafting professions and just professions as a whole, another way to maybe make a little extra gold, and make their profession seem and be more valuable for the community and the game, I think is going to be a very good move for Blizz as well. And also, you can just kind of look at the UI itself when you think about just like the small things, right? The things from like the hammer in the top left up here, right? And you see like a bar when it comes to like progression, and it looks like, magma, lava, hot. You think of like blacksmithing, hot steel, fire, things like that. All these little things that they're doing, just giving us like numbers and stats to look at really makes you want to dive and be more involved into like professions like this. And then also, if you're going to make a little bit of gold from it, by all means, that money, right? That's all we really have. Those are just some of the small things that I thought that we should talk about going into it. I'm definitely super excited for the professions that we're going to be doing. Uh, the UI is going to be great. It's going to be a good quality of life. Maybe we won't have to use LVUI anymore, which I do love LVUI, but sometimes when those little errors pop up, I'm not trying to deal with them, right? Talent trees are like big. This is what we're all going to be waiting on when it comes to everybody's going to be trying to drag there. That's just it's going to happen, just like they did with Demon Hunters, just like they did with DKs, they did with Pallies, they did with Monk. Everyone's going to try it out, right? I know a lot of people are going to be interested in the talents and the builds that they can come up with in order to make these classes like their own. But of course, you're going to have some people that are just, they're tried and true. They're stuck to their class from the past and they're not doing anything else. Maybe the Drac there might be an alt for them, but we would really like to see the development of what Blizz is going to do when it comes to balancing these talent trees um, for every class in the game. And then design wise, I'm excited for some design work. You know, biggest thing I'm waiting on, hopefully, see when we go to the humanoid form of the Drakthir. I need a black guy. We need black guys and black women, and we need black hairstyles. I'm gonna preach this until the day I die. For any game that you come out with that's an MMO or has a character creation, you need black people in the game, and you need black character features, noses, ears, hair, all that stuff. We need all of that, and I will always preach that, right? So hopefully, Blizz, if you watch this video and you are listening, you need it. Put it in the game because we need to be included too when it comes to the gaming community out here because we play games too. All right. So that was just my quick little rundown of the new expansion reveal, World of Warcraft Dragonflight. I'm super excited, and I'm excited for more of the content and things and leaks that they're going to have coming out to us. Whenever I get the information, you'll get the information. But the only way you're going to get it, right? Listen to me very close. Go ahead and subscribe to your boy, right? Go ahead and subscribe to your boy. All right, that's one. Two, like the video so I know, hey, my peoples like the video. And three, leave a comment down below. Are you excited for 10.0 World of Warcraft Dragonflight? I know I am, but are you? See you guys in the next video. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.